Hello, this is Bike K. This time I went on a 2-day, 1-night tour with friends. One route takes you around Sunchang and Damyang, while the other takes you through the wetland ecological park and green tea fields in Gangjin. This video covers the first day. It's a truly charming route where you can experience Sunchang, famous for its gochujang, and Damyang, known for its metasequoia tree-lined road, and the Seomjin River bike path. If you're a foreign visitor coming to ride this route, I strongly recommend not just cycling, but also visiting the nearby Sunchang National Garden to enjoy the sights. I've included the website URLs or English addresses for as many of the locations featured or mentioned in the video as possible in the description, so you can find them on Google Maps. I woke up early in the morning and headed to the Sunchang Public Sports Complex Center with a friend. The distance took about 2 hours and 40 minutes, but we spent around 3 hours in total because we stopped at a gas station with rest area along the way. Despite it being the weekend, there was very little traffic here. When I plan routes, I always prioritize areas with low traffic, so I tend to focus on smaller roads rather than major highways. Even though this is a main road, there wasn't much traffic. Maybe it's because it's early in the morning.
코스가 여기가 100m 정도.
Actually, there had been a slight chance of rain that day, and when we arrived at the starting point, it didn't look like it was going to rain, but as soon as we started riding, a light drizzle began to fall. So I was a little worried, and although we got a bit wet along the way, it didn't really affect the ride much. As time went on, the rain stopped and the sun even came out, so I was really relieved. The first of the routes is famous for being the longest and most beautiful metasequoia avenue in Korea. Although metasequoia avenues often appear in videos before mine, most are short, whereas this one is quite long. You can see especially stunning scenery here in the fall. The road stretches for about 10 kilometers. After passing through that scenery, you'll arrive in Damyang County, home to Jeoknok-won, famous for its bamboo forest. We didn't stop at Jeoknok-won that day, but you can take photos at the entrance, or if you have time, leave your bike in a safe spot and go for a short walk. We visited a unique cafe nearby that specializes in chestnut-based drink and dishes. After having a drink, we continued our ride. Before reaching the Seomjin River bike path, we climbed a gentle uphill slope. If you visit in the spring, you can see endless rows of cherry blossoms here. Plus, the trees form a tunnel-like canopy, so you can ride comfortably even when the sun is hot. After the climb, there's a long, gentle downhill stretch where you can either pick up speed or let go of the pedals and slowly enjoy the surrounding scenery. The friend riding at the very front is an amazing cyclist, but the difference in our pedaling speeds was so huge that I couldn't help but chuckle. It started raining lightly, so I turned off the camera and couldn't capture it on video, but the section along the beginning of the course that runs alongside Damyang Lake is also absolutely stunning. There's a cafe there with a great view, so if you have time, be sure to stop by. We'll leave the name and address of the cafe we visited to take shelter from the rain in the description section.
I know that you think it's so important to convince everyone else that you're not boring, but it's making me feel like my skin is crawling. I keep pouring out my empathy to someone I don't even see eye to eye with. I don't mind if you don't have it all together. Yeah, I get it, we are all human, but I give you animosity. I'd rather cry than let you drive me crazy, lose my mind, and I swear I might die if I cared more. But you're not worth the time. You never put me up front 'cause it's your spot. Like I'm in the backseat of my own car. I'd rather cry than let you drive me crazy one more night. Climbing up somebody else's ladder just to make yourself feel just a little bigger.
요가 치앙마이입니다. 맞네. 치앙마이 치앙마이 맞네. 치앙마이 맞네. 치앙마이.
Truth is, we've never actually been to Chiang Mai. Now we're heading toward Imsil County. In Imsil, there's a restaurant that serves delicious tofu dishes. I highly recommend trying the soft tofu stew. The spiciness levels are categorized as mild, slightly spicy, and very spicy, so you can choose according to your preference. We didn't go there because we stopped at 2 cafes to have drinks and bread due to the rain, but if you're hungry, I definitely recommend giving this restaurant a try. If you're in the mood for something else, there are a few more restaurants nearby, so you can easily find them by searching on Google Maps. Imsil is also famous for its Imsil cheese. Although it can't quite compare to European cheeses, it's still a local specialty, so be sure to check out the cheese museum and other cheese-related attractions in the area.
Joyride, a hit and run. I thought I loved you and you thought I was fun. I'm moving on down the road. Watch me as I go, watch me as I go. Should I look both ways before you cross me, baby? 'Cause I don't break for boys. I'm moving on.
As someone who rides a bike as part of a club, goes out alone, and explores various riding styles, I've come to realize that there are truly many different ways to ride a bike. I think it can be divided into commuting, exercise, and touring, which is my personal favorite. Even though we're all riding the same bike, when I see people with different riding styles than mine, it sometimes feels like we're not even riding the same bike at all. Well, I've been feeling this even more lately, but I think who you ride with is actually more important than the route itself. When riding for exercise, it's fun to ride with competitive people, but when touring like I am now, I feel you can only fully enjoy the experience by riding with people who are into enjoying the scenery, taking photos, and riding at a leisurely pace. Personally, I have 2 goals. First, to visit beautiful places around the world by bike, and second, to introduce Korea's beautiful cycling routes to foreign visitors who come here to ride. In particular, traveling by bike is one of the fastest ways to see the true essence of the country.
I'm moving on. Should I look both ways before you cross me, baby? 'Cause I don't break for boys.
I imagine that those watching this video enjoy that kind of experience, which is why you're watching my content. My view count and subscriber count are still quite small, but for those of you who happen to watch this video all the way through, if you ever need a guide while cycling in Korea and my schedule allows, I'd be happy to help you out. Why do I do this? It's kind of like this. Just as a chef feels happiness and a sense of accomplishment when someone enjoys the food they prepared, I feel happy when someone enjoys riding a route I've created or guided. Anyway, if you're planning a cycling trip and thinking of visiting Korea, I'll do my best to guide you for a day or two if my schedule allows. We've arrived at the Seomjin River bike path.
Ooh, moonlight. Ooh, moonlight. Can't believe I found you, baby. Come alive. Loving you like we're dancing in moonlight. Wanna waste our time in the moonlight. Wrap me up all night.
Once you get here, you'll experience the peaceful atmosphere of a quiet country road, along with the refreshing breeze from the stream on your left. You'll also see other cyclists riding by, so feel free to give them a friendly wave if you pass each other.
So good, it hurts my soul. No, I can't deny the way you pull it. Ooh, moonlight. Ooh, moonlight. Can't believe I found you, baby. Come alive. Loving you like we're dancing in moonlight.
At this time of year, you can also see beautiful goldenrod blooming, so be sure not to miss it. The main part of the tour is now over, and we need to head back to the starting point.
Rolling like the sun. I should have known you were the one. I should have known I could have been falling. Hidden, fleeting moments go. I should have known that.
From here on, there is some vehicle traffic, so please be careful. In Korea, cyclists must obey traffic signals. When the light is red, stop along with the cars. If there are only a few cars, it's better to let them go first before setting off. The course is approximately 80 kilometers long with a total elevation gain of about 700 meters, so I think it's a route that even beginners can easily ride. We started riding at 9 a.m. and finished just before 3 p.m., so it took about 6 hours, including rest breaks. The actual riding time was about 3.5 hours, and about 2.5 hours were spent at cafés and resting. Please keep this in mind when planning your trip. After finishing the ride, we wrapped things up with a late lunch and coffee at a cafe. Please look forward to the Gangjin ride scheduled for the next day as well.